Hey, good weekend to you. Welcome to Leading Edge. I'm Jerry Anderson, and Happy New Year as well. Out with the old, in with the new. It's a cry that sometimes we hear about this time of year, although that old term sounds a bit harsh. As I welcome in, welcome in my first two guests, members of City Council who just completed their council careers, and neither of them, by the way, is old. Rob Ludeman and Cecelia Adams are two members of City Council. They've concluded their careers, and they are not old. They both attended and graduated from Bowsher High School. I know because I was there. My family would then move from South End, and I would become a proud graduate of Bowling Green High School. But it's good to see you guys again. And when I saw you on television at your final council meeting, I said, this would be great to get a bunch of old Bowsher people together on TV together.
Yes.
Looking back on those days, and Cecile, I'll start with you. Anything about those days, the experiences, teachers, other students that helped inform or shape your careers moving forward, including your roles as a public servant?
Well, at Bowsher High School, it was quite an event because my sister and I integrated Bowsher.
Yeah.
Prior to that, there weren't any other African-American students there. And so what it did is that it helped me to understand how to operate in a different culture that was mostly not my own. And I also had some excellent teachers. We had a great time. We were asked to be in the Philadelphia Society. We were in the band. We were majorettes. We were in rebellies. Yeah. We became very active in that. And so we were on the principal's list. It was just a wonderful experience. And so I think that it helped to formulate my feeling that people can get along and that the diversity is important, I think, for all of the cultures that are involved.
Rob, same question to you. Those days, the experiences that really informed, helped shape the public servant that you became.
Yeah, we had great teachers, as Cecilia mentioned, and great friends. Jerry, you and I knew each other from about first grade on at Heatherdown School. Yeah. My kids always laughed when I told them that I went to Bowsher for 6 years because you and I went to junior high at Bowsher, the second floor wing. And But I look back, and in 1969, I was on the football team that won the first city championship for Bowsher, and a great group of guys. We got together for a 50th anniversary a couple of years ago, and we've stayed friends over the years, and the margin of victory gets greater every year.
That was Dave Shasky at quarterback, Keim, George Keim?
George Keim.
George Machukas, your coach.
George Machukas, great gate guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll stay with you, Rob, because you said something to me the other day that you used to hate term limits, but you've kind of had a change of heart. Explain that to me.
Well, I think that I understand term limits, but we have term limits on City Council. The mayor has term limits, and at the national level, only the president really has a term limit. I think at the national level, parts of our country might be different if we did have term limits in Washington. And at the county level, there aren't term limits for the county offices. So I would push, maybe that's my public service in the future, is to push for term limits in other venues, because I do think that the changing over new guard, new blood can bring some new and bright ideas.
How many years all told for you on council?
Well, I was 14 as a district councilman. I sat out for 2 years because I was term limited, and now 12 at large. So,
Dr. Cecelia Adams, you were not term limited, but yet you chose to step down from council. Why?
I don't think it takes forever to get anything done. You don't have to spend all 12 years that you're able to have on council. When Mr. Ford passed away, I was asked to come over from the school board to council, which I did. I served as, I sat in his seat the whole time, the whole 6 years that I was there. And I think I was able to get some really substantive and significant legislation through in these 6 years. And so I felt that it was time to go ahead and take a break, smell the roses a little bit, and let somebody else see what they can do.
I find it interesting. You are both children of public servants. Mm-hmm. Rob's dad, longtime judge of Lucas County Probate Court, Willis Ludeman. Cecilia's mom, Dr. Samantha Adams, served on the Toledo Board of Education. Always one of my favorite interviewees. I loved talking with her at school board meetings. Did they encourage, and Cecelia, I'll start with you, we'll reverse the order here. Did they actively encourage you to pursue public service, or did just watching them fuel a passion to serve?
It was really fun watching Mother.
Yeah.
When we campaigned with her, it was really great. And that's how I observed how you run a campaign, because I had no idea that I was going to be running for the school board myself. And the only way I really knew anything about how to do it was having watched Mother in the late 70s and early 80s. And so there wasn't any plan to be in elected office for me. Yeah. I had retired from the school district, and so I was just ready to just kind of take care of her and travel a little bit and just kind of ride, slowly into the sunset. But then I got a call and I asked Mother, I said, Mother, what do you think about this? And she said, it's a lot of work, but if you think you can do it, go ahead and do it. I talked to the rest of the family. They said, go for it. And so the rest is history, I guess.
Rob, what about you, growing up around the judge?
Well, it was being a judge was a different type of campaign. He ran unopposed several times.
Yes, he did.
It still was a worry campaigning. And by the time I ran, my dad had passed away. The one piece of advice he gave me, which I never took, he said, if you ever do want to run for public office, Rob, I suggest that you either change parties or move to Wood County. And I never did. I ran as a Republican in Toledo and was successful.
That's right. You had great success, but as a Republican in Toledo, and folks, that don't happen often. I'm going to take a break. He's Rob Ludeman, she's Cecelia Adams, both stepping down. They've concluded the city council careers. Want them to reflect maybe on what they are most proud of during that time. We'll do that when Leading Edge returns right after this.